Well, how do you sum up this one, if you can?
Gosh, just resiliency. That's what it boils down to. And shoot, if this team's not playoff ready at this point with what we've been through, that's exactly what you want to see out of your teammates, your brothers, just battling every single play. Not everything's gonna go your way, so we showed a lot of resiliency. I'm super proud of our guys.
Is there a moment that stands out, or a couple that really stand out right now?
Honestly, not really. We took some punches, we gave some punches back, and that's what it boils down to, is just being able to be resilient.
Did you ever find yourself like scratching your head because just some of the weird stuff that was going on and trying to stay focused when balls are getting snapped out of the end zone and all kinds of other stuff?
Yeah, no, there was a lot of wild stuff that went down, but again, I mean, we've battled back before, so it was nothing new for us. And I just love that we don't flinch when stuff happens. A lot of stuff's gonna go on throughout the game, and we talk about just being even keel. It's like a roller coaster, but the team that can be more even keel when stuff like that happens. They had the bad snaps, but we were giving up some stuff on special teams, just quick points where it's like, oh man, we just gotta stay in it, don't flinch, and continue to push through.
What's the challenge like sticking with the initial game plan when there's like 17 points scored in that game and you guys weren't even on the field as defenders, so how do you kind of stick in what you had planned going into it?
Yeah, just bringing the guys together and trusting what we're doing. You could see, we were getting stops on defense, and so at that point it's like we feel confident in what we're doing, and just bringing the guys together and sticking together and continue to do what we do. And then some, maybe trying to, I wish we would have gotten a little bit more takeaways for sure, helped our offense out, because they did a lot for us for sure this game. Wishing maybe we got more takeaways, but just staying confident in what we're doing. We were getting stops, so that's what mattered.
They killed everybody they played with the RPO stuff, throwing over the top. I think they took like 2 deep shots the whole game. What was that a product of? What do you think of the guys on the outside?
I just think, we knew that they were going to do it. They hit us on that last year even to start the game. And so that was, that's just, kudos to our corners and our guys in the backfield, and also the pressure that we were able to get on the D-line. It's a team game, and it's all just playing off of each other is a big deal, and I think we did a lot of that, which was great.
Are you on punt team or punt coverage team?
Punt return, yep.
Punt return, okay. Yep. So what was your perspective like on those 4 snaps? How would you describe that, I guess, from your perspective?
I feel bad for the kid. That's tough being put in that situation after it's happened so many times, and with the weather. My heart goes out to him. They have a really great punt team. They fake a lot of stuff, so that was, as a unit, it was interesting because we're getting ready for anything, right? We go through, they've ran 7 fakes in the past 2 years, and so all unit you're preparing, or all week you're preparing with that unit, like, hey, these are some of the things we're going to see. We're not going to change our game plan, but we got to be prepared for everything. And then all of a sudden, they just start snapping stuff over the punter's head. That's tough. So that's kind of, yeah.
On that final drive, you guys need to stop there. I was curious if you could take it through kind of, I know Cal gets that sack on 3rd down, drop on 4th down.
Yeah, definitely. You don't want to give up those long 4th downs that we were giving up. So that was tough, but again, us being able to just stay in it is a product of what we've been through all year. So what now, what type of mentality, and so again, it's not necessarily demoralizing, because we've been in these situations where it's like, hey, we've got to step up and make a play, but you definitely don't want to give up those 4th and long. Shout out to Cal for his sack. That was incredible, and just a lot of guys stepping up and making plays when it mattered. It's kind of what that boils down to.
Ty, 17 straight wins at home. You've been a part of just about every one of them. New record. What does that mean? What is the whole just thing mean of having a sold-out crowd and getting this win?
It's a big deal. To your point, we get a ton of support from our fans, and Bobcat Nation is the best in the country, and so that's a big product of what they do. But this is also a product of the culture that our guys in the past have built. You guys may have seen Lewis is back in town, Daniel's back in town, Lance is back in town, and even Derek Marks was at Chapel this morning talking. Chase Benson was back. And that's just a product of the culture that they have set. We don't lose at home. Our fans are fantastic. But B, just the winning culture that we've set and that those guys have set. And we're just trying to continue to build upon that is a big deal. And that's kind of the product of it.
What kind of confidence does this win give your team moving forward into the bye and into the rest of the regular season?
I think a ton of confidence, a ton of momentum, just because it was another hard fought battle, something that we had to, we get down early and we're able to come back, and it just shows that, we don't need to flinch. We don't flinch at this point, and it's just building upon that and saying, hey, being able to bring that into the second, not even the second half, the last end of the season after a bye week, and say, hey, here's the things that we've been through. This is what we've been able to handle as a team. And so when things like that come up, which they will later in the season, we're ready for it and prepared.
Is there any game in your career that this game reminds you of? Other game, I guess?
Honestly, not really. I think just such an individual approach to each game and kind of everything that goes down. It's a lot of the same and a lot different, but I can't necessarily point back. But I guess, if I thought back to a game where we were, taking some shots and giving some shots back, as I would say maybe NAU, where we get down early, that would have been back in 2019, where we get down real early to NAU, and then we kind of just come back full head of steam, and we ended up beating them by a lot more, but probably similar to that with the way it started.
How about that standard that's been set? How much does that play into just your guys' belief in winning?
I mean, it's this mentality, and Coach hits on it all the time, of won't be beat. And what that means is, you talk about, some teams have this mentality of can't be beat, and that's more so arrogant. Won't be beat is there's going to be things that happen in the game, and we're going to be able to respond because we refuse to just let things happen. We're going to come back, we're going to fight, scratch, claw, do everything in our power to we won't be beat. Or won't be beat. And so that's just kind of just building on that culture and that standard that the guys from last year and previous years have set is kind of what that's all about.
Top 5 matchup, getting that win going into the bye week. I guess how big is that for your guys' season at this point?
I mean, it's a huge deal. I don't like to get too deep into the rankings, but it's obviously that Weber's just a really great team, and we just beat them. So that's, to me, that's the biggest deal, right? And so just building upon that, looking back on how we approach this week, kind of like how we approach every week, but building upon what we did, So.
What is a win? I mean, as you go through this season, and are you able to soak a win like this up, being down early, fighting back, and knowing what the ultimate end goal is? I know you got a long way to go, but are you able to soak this in and enjoy it?
Without a doubt, for a split second, we'll enjoy this one. And I think the important part is taking what we did this week and building upon it, like I said earlier. I think that's just going to be the important piece. And I think we've done a great job of that so far this season, of stacking these wins. And every week is going to bring its own challenges. Weber, again, is an incredible win. It's our best win this season, without a doubt. But just being able to build upon, okay, this is what we did, this is how we approached the week, and build upon that.